Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Today, I am here for you guys. I am here for your questions. I want to say thank you. Hit that like button, and we're almost up to 10K. And that's why I come on here and answer all of the questions. I forgot to leave a message on Patreon for the question, so I will take every question from the chat today. I know some of you guys are in the chat and I haven't gotten to your questions, so I'm going to try to get to every single question in the live chat today. I'm looking forward to it. And then also I have some big news today. I'll just start off with this. So come prop up on Thrive Fantasy this season. This is the new show sponsor. Thrive Fantasy is a daily fantasy sports and esports app for player props. With Thrive, you can eliminate countless hours of research on top tier athletes. We do the research, but some people can't. Choose 10 out of the 20 available player props to build your lineup. Each prop is assigned a fantasy value, both for the over and the under, based on how likely it is to hit. Hit the most props and rack up the most points to win a share of the prize pool. If you want to compete against me, they're giving us some free money, and we have a free contest. Use promo code Lawson when you sign up today, and you will receive an instant match up to $50 on your first deposit. Download Thrive Fantasy on the App Store or Play Store, or by visiting their website, www.thrivefantasy.com. Sign up and let's get paid. I'm looking forward to it. If you want to know the name of the app, it's called Thrive. And the link for the contest with me is in the description. You can check that out. You can get this at a wide variety of places on that Android, on that iPhone. So just now that that's out of the way, I'll show you my lineup for that way later in the show. But let's get to your questions. I'm really looking forward to it today. We got a good day for some questions. I got a little bit of a headache today, so I don't know how long we'll go, but definitely at least an hour. And I'm going to clear out your questions. Joe Van Leer, J Law, my dog, love your show. Wondering though, is your love life distracting you? No, not a lot. Not a lot. You know, sometimes it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. I mean, when I'm trying to watch primetime games. But I wouldn't say it's distracting me. A man needs his release, if you understand what I'm saying. So I think it's better me have a love life than keep it bottled up inside. You know, we all need a release in some shape or form, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I wouldn't say so. I think it makes me better. I was actually, when I was in Brazil, I was actually winning more bets. But, you know, there's ebbs and churns in every year. But so far, we've been really successful, and I can't ask for more. We've absolutely been killing it this year. And make sure you hit this like button. I think YouTube is messing with my algorithm. A lot of you are saying you aren't getting the notifications. Turn your notifications on. Make sure you share the videos. Make sure you hit the like button. Zamora says Detroit +3, Washington +7.5, Colts -3.5, New Orleans -3. Yeah, I like it. Putting Detroit on here is a bit of a risk, but as the week goes on, I am feeling better and better about Detroit. Although I would say, my friend, you got that Washington a bit at a bad point spread. I've seen it at 9.5. I've seen it at 8.5. I've seen it as far as 10 this week. I don't like that +7.5. I don't want to be nitty gritty. I don't want to be nitpicking people. But when it's at 8.5 and 9.5, I felt really comfortable, even when I saw it at 10. But that 7.5, I'm not a huge fan of it. I'm not a huge fan of it, but yeah, I don't think that's the worst parlay in the world, but I don't know if that's gonna strike you gold. I like the Colts though. I really like that Colts. A lot game of the week, bro. I would say Browns to cover. I really like the Browns to cover. I have a strong 3 or 4 money plays this week. I will post it on Patreon if you want to see every bet I make, whether it be NFL or soccer. Check out the Patreon link in the description. But I got 3 or 4, and definitely in the Browns +6 is one I'm really looking to exploit this year. Hector Perez says, "What's up, big man? What's up, Hector? I'm doing great. Glad to be with you guys tonight." Trey Baxter, how strong are we thinking Washington can pull an upset for this trap game against the Steelers? I think it's rather strong. I see everything lining up for this. We're seeing a Steelers team that how motivated could they possibly be? They will only be judged by what they do in the playoffs and how they can match up against Patty Mahomes and that potent Chiefs offense in the playoffs. We have to be realistic and we have to be sincere about it. I don't know how happy they'll be with the 16-0 if they don't get to that Super Bowl game. And when you're looking at Washington, listen, I don't want us to overreact to the Dallas game. I don't want us to get too excited, but we are seeing some positive things from Washington. We're finally seeing a run game. We're seeing the offensive line get a good run push. And also this front seven of the Washington football team is quite good. And I think I might have called them by their bad name. And then you got Alex Smith, and it seems like he's getting his sea legs behind him. I mean, we knew he almost lost his leg last year, and he's looking better and better every week. So I think that could be a game we exploit. I really think it could be. Dean Stanford, what's your take on the Rams -3? I predict a push for that game, 24-27. Yeah. I agree. That game's really one I can't call, and I won't be betting that. I won't be advising anyone about that. I want no part of that game. I do think the Rams get serious here, though. I really think the Rams put their foot down, and I tend to agree with your scoreline. I think it's going to be a dogfight, and I think that game comes down to that Cardinals front seven versus that Rams run game. And we saw Goff revert back to crappy Goff. And one thing you got to do to keep Jared Goff on track is you got to run that ball with him. If you don't run that ball with him, you will have problems for sure. I already gave the lock of the week, Browns +6. But I have 3 or 4 I feel really strong about. I don't. There's no college fun game this week, but that +6 with the Browns is pretty damn good, man, for me. I won't say your name on YouTube because they got a lot of rules, and I don't want to lose my monetization. Sup, Lawson? Hey, man, what's up? I'm doing good tonight. I'm always happy to be with you guys, and I'm looking forward to your questions. And make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you leave your questions in the chat. Oh, yo, Mike, it's okay, man. It's okay. It's all, dude. I'm really forgetful, and sometimes I miss your messages on Instagram. Either way, so it's all good. It's all good. Malcolm Johnson, New England Chargers, Buffalo, San Francisco, New Orleans, Atlanta, Rams, Arizona. What game would be the most comfortable to pick, and what team? I don't like those first two. I don't really like the Saints one as much as other people. Dude, all those games really aren't comfortable to me, but I'd say New Orleans over Atlanta. But I don't think we should take too much from that Atlanta victory last week against the Raiders, but it does make me a little bit cautious. But New Orleans should be the safest in that one, right? And also, the more I think about it, the more the Rams should be the safest. But you can never be a sure thing when you got someone like Jared Goff. And here's the contest. I'm doing with Thrive Fantasy. 1 second. This is kind of like an example of it. Thrive Fantasy, link is in the description. Use the promo code Lawson, LAWSON. It's the first sponsor of this show. And that's really important to me, and that's why I started doing the player props video. And so yeah, let's do this Thrive Fantasy thing. Come compete against me. It's a free entry. We got a chance to win some free prizes. Let's get it, man. Christian Galdo's favorite bet of the week, Cleveland +6. Hate Handsome. That's an interesting name. How you feel about Miami and Memphis tonight to cover? I have no idea, my friend. I'm not an expert in it. I haven't watched a college football game. I've watched like maybe 3 college football games this year. But once the NFL ends, I'll be coming with lots of different bets, lots of USC, lots of soccer. Might even go into a little bit of NBA, as even though NBA really pisses me off. I used to love NBA in the past. Michael Mann, what's up, Michael Mann? Sorry, one too many monies, but can you ever have enough? No, you cannot. You always have to keep winning the bats, but you also have to be patient and understand Rome wasn't built in one day. And some people think they're going to get on the Patreon and become millionaires in one day. Like, it takes time, man, and you have to be patient in this game. If you want to be in this game, if you want to be in this gambling game, you have to be patient and understand that, it's not about what you do over the past 2 or 3 weeks. It's what you do for 6, 7, 8 months. That's how you know if you're doing well. Takabi Wolde, 49ers, money, upset of the week. It's a little bit bold, but aren't you guys a little bit late on the 49ers thing? I didn't hear any of you guys saying the 49ers were an upset last week, and now you're saying they're an upset this week. I mean, the point spread's only 2, so I don't think it's that big an upset. I mean, it was a bigger upset when they beat the Rams, right? I'm not trying to rain on anyone's parade. I'm not trying to put some vinegar in your eye or anything like that, but I mean, I don't know if that's a big colossal upset. I don't even know if it's an upset. They're at home and they're only 2-point underdogs. Kerry Soriano, Denver has a +6 teaser to +20 against KC. No, that game's too unpredictable. While I would say you would be safe with Denver +20, there is a chance the Chiefs absolutely blow them out. But I think Denver will play good. From what I understand, Drew Lock's playing, so I would feel somewhat comfortable with the +20, but I don't think that would be the direction I'd go for a teaser. Destroyer off pool. I can't read that. What do you think about round robin parlays? Not a huge fan. I don't use them. But I mean, I know a few people who do, but they aren't overly successful gamblers, so I wouldn't suggest their methods. Brandon Glam, what about the 49ers upset? I don't know if it's that big an upset. I mean, I think they got a chance to win, but the Bills do something that here's what the Bills do. They spread you out. They go 3-4 wide receivers. They got a mobile quarterback, and they also push the ball down the field. That's how you have to attack San Fran. You have to spread out that defense. You have to work that secondary, and you have to throw it against them. And now without the Bosa brother healthy, the 49ers are a lot easier to pass against because they don't have that vicious pass rush. So that I think it's a bad matchup for the 49ers defense. That's why I'm not on it. Cole Radcliffe finally got the live stream. Love your show, brother. Thank you, Cole. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you can make it. Corey Moser, Tennessee -2.5, Colts -2.5, Packers -2.5, KC -6.5, and Seahawks -5.5. What do you think? And no, dude, you're not going to win that because the Browns are just probably going to win against the Tennessee Titans. That's the upset of the week. Tennessee -2.5. I mean, maybe. The Colts is fine. I see you got the Packers. Let me refresh my mind who the Packers are playing. 1 second. I was talking about this game earlier today on a video that will be dropping tonight. Let me get to it. Who are the Packers freaking playing, man? Oh, Philly. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, so that's fine. And Seahawks -5.5 is great. What? Oh, yeah. Why are the 49ers projected to win -1? You think the Bills would beat them up? It's just because people reacted to what happened by the 49ers last week. It's kind of surprising that the 49ers are favorites now. I actually didn't notice that. That's been a game I've been trying to stay away from. Like, don't get me wrong. I think the 49ers can win it too, but that Bills offense is a really bad matchup for sure. Josh Jacobs was injured. Do the Jets have a chance? Well, from last I heard, he was playing. Is he ruled out or I don't want to overreact about something because sometimes you guys overreact about the injuries and the guys out there playing on Sunday. Cole Ratcliffe, Lawson, how do you feel about 3-team 10-point teasers and 4-team 13-point teasers? I mean, that's fine, but I have to see the mathematics and the payout in front of me. And honestly, there's not a big difference between a 10-point and a 7-point teaser. You'll just make less money. And for me, if you're going to lose the 10-point teaser, you're going to lose the 7-point teaser too. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're going to lose the 7-point teaser, the way it goes, it's normally a blowout where someone doesn't show up. So you'll end up losing the 10-point. And 13-point is just far too much, my friend. But the 10-point teaser, I can roll with a little bit. I've done it before. Kurt Mason, how do you think about the Saints and Falcons in the under game? Let me look at the under. Let me look at the under. Damn it, man. I can't find it. Okay, I found it. 46. I don't like the under. I wouldn't bet the over either. Like, if I had to choose, I'd probably go over. Actually, no, I'd go under. But see, that's how much of a coin flip that game is when you're looking at over and unders. Lawson, did you enjoy the Vikings game last week? I think the Panthers took a dub if it means we can get Teddy out of here. I didn't enjoy it because the Panthers deserved to win the game and they lost. Yes, I'm a Vikings fan. Yes, I like to see the Vikings win, but I also like to see the Vikings come out and play good, proficient football. And you don't have to be the best team in the league, but you can still play some football. I felt like Matt Rule was absolutely phenomenal, and I kind of wanted to see him get the dub. Like I said, it's my team, but when you look at that game, when you take your biases out of play, the Panthers should have won that game by what, 10, 13 points? If I'm getting greedy, maybe 17. But Teddy Bridgewater just missed guys wide open. And you can't do that in this league. You can't miss the pop plays. And at the end of the day, the Vikings made the bigger plays in the pass game. And I was really impressed by the way Carolina was running the ball. Yes, the Vikings defense, you can run on them. We already know that. It's no secret. But I was really happy with the push that Carolina offense was getting and also the scheme that they used. So I think it's positive for Carolina. But unfortunately, man, I think you're getting a little bit of Teddy next year because you guys just racked up too many wins. So you're probably out of the quarterback dance. I mean, I know there's 2 or 3 other good quarterbacks outside of Trevor Lawrence, but you probably won't be in that dance for there's so many bad teams this year. Hey, bro, hoping the Cleveland +6 comes through. Yeah, but I wouldn't make that your only bet. You got to find 3-4 money picks and exploit them. Eli Mendoza, what's up, Eli? Lawson, what's up? This is Eli from Cali. How do you feel about the Chargers -1? I like the Chargers -1. I think the Chargers win that game. I did a podcast today, the player prop. That's where I had a little bit of a debate with a Patriots fan about Chargers or Patriots. I'm going Chargers, and one of the main that actually might be a money pick, but we can't rely on the Chargers at all, and the hoodie Bill Belichick can surprise us. But one reason why I'm really liking the Chargers in that game is because I'm seeing comments saying, Lawson, you're now a little bit cautious because Bill Belichick absolutely tears up rookie quarterbacks. No, because to really give rookie quarterbacks a hard time, you have to get pressure on them. And I don't think there's a worse team at rushing the passer in this league than the New England Patriots. And I think Herbert's going to come in. Herbert's going to get in rhythm early. And you know what Herbert's going to do? He's going to put over 300 yards up on the board and probably toss 2 touchdowns. And did I mention Keenan Allen's playing great football? And I don't think this Patriots secondary is that bad at all, but they have to cover 5, 6, 7 seconds every single pass play. And I think Herbert will be able to exploit that unless there's some really good blitzes, unless there's just a pass rush. I don't see how the Chargers lose that game. I just don't. Chris Koshinski, you said you stay near Syracuse. Do you ever go to Turning Stone? I went there once to try to place a sports bet, and I did a video about it, and it was absolutely terrible. That's why I just use the internet. Do not waste your time unless you're in Las Vegas. Maybe Atlantic City too, but just don't waste your time going to places like that to bet sports. Richard, come on, man. I can't do that off the top of my head. What's your best 3-team 10-point teaser? I mean, you could watch the teaser videos and devise from there. I'm not trying to be rude, but I mean, that I don't think Albert Einstein could do that math in his head this fast. Richard Williams, do you like Cincinnati plus 24? I guess. Isn't there other meat to pick on the bone this week? And haven't we already ridden that Cincinnati train? We've been good at riding it, but haven't we kind of ridden that Cincinnati train in the ground now that the young King Burrow is out? I mean, we got on the Cincinnati lick. We got some money out of it, but we also have to know when to move on or just stay the hell away. Michael Hinman, you think Josh Jacobs getting ruled out changes anything for the Raiders-Jets game? Yeah, it does. It makes the Raiders more vulnerable. The Raiders got some decent running back depth, but it's nothing that can replace Josh Jacobs. Plus, they don't have the power running style that Josh Jacobs possesses. I mean, Josh Jacobs' style is absolutely perfect if you look at how that big, burly offensive line is constructed. It really is. Darren Buketer. Until there's a draft lottery in the NFL, I can't bet the Jets anymore this year. Outside of divisional games where anything can happen, Darren, I think that's a big-brained, high IQ take. I actually like where you're going there. Some of the subscribers were trying to warn me about that last week, and that is a great point by you guys. And Darren just hammered at home there. I mean, seriously, okay. This business, okay, it's about the money pick. It's about pinpointing the money pick, and it's us being smarter than Vegas. But also, this business is mostly about us knowing what to stay away from. So I like that comment. I really did like that comment. Okay. I'm still getting to the questions. Make sure you hit that like button. Dude, I'm getting guys, the YouTube algorithms are really working against me. You need to hit that like button. Help me out. Make sure you hit the like button and share the videos. I'm going to keep getting to the questions. Thank you, Lunatic. Thank you. Give the man some likes. Give him some likes. We'll dance for likes. Cash Money. What's up, Cash Money? I haven't seen you in a while, man. The Atlanta Falcons will beat New Orleans. Bold. Yeah, I mean, eventually you got to think New Orleans is a little bit vulnerable with Taysom Hill. Although Taysom Hill has been, yeah. And seriously, Jake makes a good point. All the questions for the man, but only 10 likes. Like, yeah, you guys, like, man, I could see if you guys were sending super chats, not hitting the like button, but yeah, give me some likes. I'm answering your question, man. Like, my throat's like dry. I've answered so many questions already. The LJ Hour podcast. I'm going to throw out a few 3 pairs, just a simple yes or no. I won't take much of your time. For sure, LJ. You've been a long time subscriber. I appreciate you. Yeah, Lunatic. I think the Browns could easily get that upset. I think they could. I like the +6 better though. Christian Galdos. Hey, Lawson, what do we get from the Patreon? Everything I bet. And it's also supporting me. I mean, yes, you get every game I bet. You get every soccer game I bet, but it's also supporting me. So I can spend my time watching sports and analyzing film instead of wage slaving at a job. So that's what you get from the Patreon. It helps support me, and the fans have really came through. I really appreciate you guys, and I'm able to spend time at what I'm good at. The dude abides. I remember a couple of weeks ago when Matt Ryan was sacked about 30 times by New Orleans. That's a good point. I mean, there's just not a physical football team, and New Orleans certainly is a physical football team. That would be my one question for Cash Money. Is okay. I understand Atlanta; they're getting a little bit better. This is the time when they start playing like they did last year. But I guess my question is, Are they physical enough to beat a really, really motivated New Orleans team? Yeah, Paco Mano. I don't watch college basketball, and I've been watching the UEFA Champions League. I've just been catching up. I go heavy on European soccer once the season ends. I watch a lot of South American soccer. That's where the bets come from. But once the NFL ends, I'm going to be going heavy on those bets. But because I just need to watch it, I pretty much need to. Cleveland, New Orleans, Washington. I like that. I like that, LJ. The biggest question there is New Orleans, but I still think that's pretty safe. I like that. Riley Briggs, how you doing, man? I'm doing great. Make sure you hit that like button. Okay, let me get CEO Gordo 74. You really don't trust the Raiders to get revenge after last year's game? No, I think they're going to take care of business. It's just a lot of people, they're asking about the spread. And what's the spread like? Raiders favored by 8, maybe 9, maybe 7. Depends on the shift, depends on your bookie. I'm a little bit nervous about that. Yes, I think the Raiders will win that game. Certainly, they're on my teaser at -1, so I plan on them winning for sure. Yeah, style bender. I'm not feeling the Falcons over the Saints. Cash Money, he is good at grabbing some crazy epic upsets. He has done it before, but also he's had a lot of strikeouts too. He's erratic, but sometimes he's a genius. But I don't think his genius is right on this one. You still like the Colts Texans under 50.5? Yeah, that was actually one of the few over and unders I really liked that this week, Riley. I felt like that was a good game to target. Devin Judge, Lawson, can you shout out XRP Poppy for me? Big fan. What's up, XRP Poppy? Make sure you hit that like button and make sure you subscribe. Corey Serrano, Bose is going to wreck Cam. He lacks weapons, and the Chargers are going to exploit that. Yeah, I agree. And also what I mentioned, can the Patriots rush the passer? And thank you for the super chat, my friend. What's up, big man? You were right about the Packs versus Colts nail-biting win. Aside the Browns, second best money pick. Second best money pick. Well, that's why I have Patreon, but let me think. Let me think on that. That's a super chat, so I have to answer it. I can't dodge that question. Any super chats that is sent to me, I can't dodge it. I have to go all in. Let me think. Let me re-look at these spreads. Washington's already down to -7. I did a parlay this week. One parlay, it's just a small little parlay where I got Washington at +9, but unfortunately we're at +7. But we've been on that all week. I bet a lot of you bet that. Let me get the Colts. I like the Colts against the Texans, and I actually have a really good argument for that. I feel really, really confident about that. Okay. I'm not sure if Connor's going to play, but certainly if he's somewhat banged up, I don't think Tomlin and crew are going to rush him in. I don't think they will. Yeah. And Steve, this was my point about Cincinnati +24. Like, why bother? There's other meat to pick on this bone. Chris Koshinski, how do you bet on the internet in New York? I really can't give that advice over YouTube because it's against your community standards, but I would suggest using something offshore. And this state will tax you out of oblivion on your winnings. So I would suggest using some sort of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. Eli Mendoza, what 2 games are you on the fence about? Bills, 49ers is one. Another one is, can Minnesota cover this -10 against Jacksonville? And another one is Rams and Arizona. But the more I think about this Rams-Arizona game, the more I think the Rams are going to pull away. Just give me a second. I'm going to get a glass of water, then I'll be back. Keep leaving your questions. Keep hitting the like button. I'll be right back. Okay, back. Thank you for staying with me. Thank you for being patient, guys. Okay, getting to your questions. All right, I'm gonna skip some questions, and I kind of want to get to the bottom at live. I want to hear what you're saying. And if I miss your chat, send a super chat or just write it again. Should you bet the Saints on the money line? Yeah, but that's not one of the games I'm targeting this week. But I wouldn't be opposed to it. Yeah, appreciate it. And if YouTube was how it was 4 or 5 years ago with the old algorithm, I think this podcast would be up to like 50K subscribers. But luckily, because of you guys, I'm up to 10K, and I know you guys are sharing the videos like mad. Also, it helps when we're successful. It helps when we're winning bets, and that's one thing we do better than other shows. And I think we have more fun here. But yeah, the algorithm definitely can work against you in YouTube if you're not a big company and if you don't have a lot of money. I mean, I don't have a corporation behind me. Okay. Pocket. Rams, Arizona is so sketchy. Can you elaborate? Okay, let's see. Jags plus 17 is a lock. Oh, dude. Okay, but like Jags plus 17 is a lock. Okay, but that's not really like the definition of a lock if you need to add 7 points to it. I don't mean to snap on you. Yeah. I do this all the time. Someone was actually asking me about my love life affecting my the bets this week. I mean, at the beginning of the show, I thought it was a funny question. Sean York, if you were to pick one big money line dog this weekend, who would it be? Cleveland. I mean, Cleveland's just really the proficient answer to everything. If we're looking for Washington, I was on it and I'm still feeling it. Maybe I'm just a little bit. I'm not feeling the Washington one as much because now it's down to plus 7. Although you were asking on the money line, but yeah, Washington would probably be the one, or Cleveland. I absolutely love Cleveland. Maybe even Dallas against Baltimore. That's one game no one's really talking about. Patrick Keatley, what is the best meat on the week bone? LA Chargers, Giants. Why would the Giants be the best meat on the bone this week when we're getting Colt McCoy? Did you see how bad Colt McCoy was against the Bengals? If you tell me Daniel Jones is going to come out there and be 85%, I actually like your opinion. The Chargers, it's good. And the more the week goes on, the more I like the Chargers. The fundamentals and X's and O's all signal Chargers. It's similar to what I did with the Texans pick when I told you guys they were a money pick against the Patriots. The fundamentals are all there. But Patrick, one worry that I see is this Chargers team just looks for ways to lose games. They don't have the killer instinct. Maybe we could blame Anthony Lynn. Maybe we could blame the injuries on defense. I don't know, but that team blows almost every lead they got. I mean, you remember that Denver game, Pat? I mean, I like where you're going there. I'm glad you mentioned some other games. Okay, yo, I'm gonna just block this April guy. The guy's saying weird stuff now. That's weird. Austin? Why is teasing the Jags so great? We've done it before. Remember when we did it against the Packers? Okay, but it's not that great. It's just one piece to a 5-6 piece puzzle, and we don't need to get too excited about it. It's not like you're betting it straight up unless you're going to bet it straight up and put like 5K on it. I don't see why you're so excited about it. Damn, yo. I like your enthusiasm, though. You might be the person who's more excited than me this Friday, though. So I like the attitude in a way. Jerry Jiang, Colts -3, confident pick. Yes, sir. Renisha, okay. Bill McDonald, are you doing a prop show this week? Bill, yes. The prop show will be coming 9 to 10:30 tonight. All right, I need some of your guys' help now. because I'm helping you guys with the questions. I need some of your help. Give me some honest feedback, and you guys can be harsh with me. That's fine, because sometimes I'm harsh with you, but that's why we're here, to give ourselves honesty, and that's how we end up being the best we can be. What do you think of that spread show with my friend Jay Smooth? Be brutally honest. Do you guys think he's terrible? Do you think he's getting better? And even leave the comment on this second video, okay? Or do you think I'm just wasting my time and hurting my YouTube algorithm? Because it doesn't get as much as the other videos, but I think it's a pretty cool idea. And plus, Thrive is now sponsoring this show. Check out the Thrive app. It's in the description. We're definitely doing big things. Cash Money says, I'm betting my life savings on Atlanta. No, you aren't. You're trolling. You're crazy enough to put like 5 G's on it, but I know you're not going. I know you're not going any deeper than that. I know you're not going deeper than that, my friend. Okay, Rams or Guilherme Bissett. Rams or Cardinals? Rams. That was a 50-50 for me all week. But the more I think about it, the Rams. Okay, let me get to the question. Yo, Lawson, I remember last year around week 16, you and Giff were talking all business on the money picks, and then you brought your girl on in the middle of the spreads vid, flexing on us all. Yeah, that was funny. That was a good moment. She wanted to come on the video, and it was really, really funny. It was probably the best moment of that year. Like, it was just so funny, her trying to speak English, and then I had to like speak Portuguese for her so she knew what was going on. And it's so funny, she would just go randomly, we would be like in the car driving, she would be like, subscribe NFL podcast. It was good times, man. It was good times. J Law, you must obey. What's up, Xavier? That's obey money. Yes, of course. Prop show, Vincent Randozzo. Yes, prop show. It's coming tonight at like 9:30, 10. Yeah, your new co-host. Foost, I liked it a lot. Yeah, and dude, if someone hates it, you can write it up, because I'm honestly curious. And it's like Jay's first time on camera, so it's tough. Like, even Michael Mann, who's in the live chat now, like, he's good when he comes on live chats now, when he comes on the live stream. I remember when he first started, he was like a little bit timid, but it's your first few times, you're just going to be. And plus, it's hard to get chemistry. And plus, I end up talking a lot because I'm not in the same room, because I can't read you. Like, I'm actually a person, I like listening. I like listening to other people's opinions, and I listen to your opinions when you guys have good ones. When you guys actually make an argument, I actually respect a lot of the opinions I hear on here, and it helps me. But sometimes I cut people off when I'm in this digital world, because I don't do it in person. I read their body language. Okay. Jake Winsheimer, what do you think about Seattle -3? Oh, dude, I keep blanking on who everyone's playing. Do you guys, when you guys do the parlays, if you're giving me like a long list of parlays to do, put the team they're playing. Okay. Because some teams I know, some teams I don't. Daniel Frederick, who you think will play it out for the Super Bowl? Would like to place a future bet. I've actually been thinking about that, Daniel. So this is a good question. So I'll think out loud. Of course, you got the Chiefs. They're dangerous. I do like the way the Pittsburgh Steelers were looking, but you're a little bit late to get into Pittsburgh. You were probably better off making them a long shot. That when I told you guys in the preseason, I thought they would win the AFC North, but I never would have thought they would be undefeated at this point. You got teams like the Titans and Bills who have some interesting qualities. You got some teams like the Raiders who have some interesting qualities in that AFC. You're almost at the point where you're counting out the Ravens. It just doesn't feel like their year. And then in the NFC, who the hell knows? I still think Tampa Bay gets out of that NFC. And I know you guys are going to call me crazy, and that's fine. But I think the best long shot bet, if you want a future bet, is Tampa Bay to get to the Super Bowl still. Listen, Seattle's got problems. Green Bay's got problems. I mean, come on now. And the Saints certainly have problems. This isn't the best Saints team we've seen. I mean, it's not even close. Are the Saints even as good as last year? And you remember what happened to the Saints last year in the playoffs when Minnesota bounced them? I mean, so I wouldn't roll out Tampa Bay sliding through this NFC. I would not roll it out. And I'm not sold on Green Bay making the necessary improvements as well. So that's where I'm at on the Super Bowl hunt. CEO Gordo, you definitely have the best personality out of any sports show on YouTube. It is the best gambling show on YouTube. It is the best gambling show on the internet. This will only continue to grow. I appreciate you guys for helping me. Okay. Yeah, before the dark times. Yeah, before COVID. Yeah, dude. No one even was excited about this NFL season going into it before COVID. I don't want to project, but I was so low energy going into this NFL season. Like, it was the first year I wasn't like excited about my whole life. I was excited about the NFL pacing every single minute, waiting for it. And during the COVID thing, I just couldn't get excited about it because I thought we were going to get canceled. Okay. Hit the like button, subscribe, share the video. Cards Fan 420, my dude. Remember when I told you guys about him? This guy's my biggest hater. And believe it or not, one time he admitted he can't see. He can't see. And it's ironic, like, and he's always been wrong about games, and I've always gotten one up. It's been like a 3-4 year thing. He'll always come on and leave hate comments about me, but he can't even see me. He can't really see the game. And I honestly have sympathy for him. And I've invited him on the show many times, and I would be very, very polite with him. But this man is a coward. You can be blind, but it doesn't mean you have to be a coward. But you also, just because you're blind, it doesn't mean you have to celebrate blind ignorance. You've been watching my podcast for 4 or 5 years. If they are so terrible, why are you still watching? And why are you always leaving comments, my friend? I really want to talk to you. And you've said a few times you were going to come on, and every time you chickened out. This is back in the day. This is way back in the day. You haven't showed your little head too far this year. Now that this show's almost up to 10K, I see you squirting out a little bit, though. I see you squirting out a little bit. But yeah, you should come on. Kirk Broomfield, what's your best 3-team parlay? I think I gave it earlier. I like the Browns +6. I like the Colts to cover, and leaning towards the Chargers the more I think about it. I would say Vegas on the money line. Vegas on the money line. Don't do the -8. It's just Vegas on the money line. And for a parlay, that's a good payout. That's a consistent. Janae Copeland Lewis. What's up, my Patreon subscriber? What's up, man? -2.5 Rams lock. I'm starting to feel your confidence as the week goes on. As the week goes on, it feels like the Rams will probably win that. Calvin Azari. Lawson, I think the Steelers will come out furious because Mike Tomlin was mad about how they played against the Ravens. Well, that's true, but the Washington football team's going to be playing too. And then also, if you're a Steelers fan, you kind of want a loss. And I never say negative stuff like that. But if you're a Steelers fan, I think you kind of want a loss because a loss teaches you things in this league. Remember when New England went into those playoffs 16-0 and no one was even close to them? They were straight blowing through teams like by like 40, 50 points, with me not exaggerating. And then they get beat by an above average Giants team with a lot of heart. Sometimes you need that loss during the regular season to teach you a lesson. And if you're the Steelers right now, you're thinking about home field advantage. Yes, you want to win as many games as possible. You want to play the Chiefs in Heinz Field. Yes, it's all important, but you can even lose a game and still get that situation and still be Gucci. And when I'm looking at it, it's just I've always seen teams learn from losses. Like I'd rather be 14-2 going into playoffs than 16-0. I know that sounds counterproductive, but that's where I'm at. Yeah, let me see if Cards Fan actually came on here. Come on, Cards Fan, come on, bud. I've been waiting for you for like 4 or 5 years. I'll be really nice to you too, and anyone knows who comes on here. I treat everyone with respect. I treat everyone with the utmost respect. I'll let you talk. I won't cut you off. Andrew, wow. Hey, Lawson, do you remember last NFL season? Which week did underdog wins? No, not really. I don't think we need to get autistic and think about that. But I remember week 16, I had a huge week last year, and we hit a lot of underdogs week 16. And week 17 is always a week where I think you guys need to be cautious. It's just something offshore, King Judah, and it's best if you can use Coinbase and it's just and then get your winning set in Bitcoin to Coinbase that you can trade that for dollars and you'll be good. Then it goes straight to your bank account. There's a wide variety of options. Janae, I'm in Canada, Quebec. Quebec's really cool place, just too damn cold for me. I hate the freaking cold, but Quebec is like really cool during July, August. It's awesome. And it's got a unique vibe to it too. I would suggest all of you go. I'm not a huge Canada guy, nothing against you, Mr. Copeland Lewis. I know many cool Canadians. It's just Quebec is probably the best part of Canada, right? Right. I mean, I know some people like Vancouver. I never got a chance to see it. Bill McDonald, did you bet any props last week? Yeah, I did a little parlay with some props. It came well. I bet 2 football teams. I bet 2 games. I bet Giants money line. And I forget the other team I bet. Then I bet 2 props. I hit it. It wasn't a huge payout, but it was nice and it was fun. I'm liking the player props, man, because there's some we can really exploit. It's really kind of cool. I'm here. Yo, I thought it was a little bit crazy, man. When you said the Saints would win the NFC South, I just felt like the Saints were at the end of their cycle. Everything has a cycle. See, I'm not a guy who views life like this, like everything continues in terms of progress. I view life as a circle. You start at the bottom, you start building your way up, you reach your top and your golden age, and then you start slowly declining, and then your civilization or team completely blows up, and that's when you get 4 wins. So I view the world more like that. I know everyone views it more like this, but I was shocked that the Saints are somewhat rejuvenated this year, but I don't know how good the Saints are. But then again, like they beat the living hell out of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 2 times. But I'm getting concerned about Bruce Arians. And I don't want to use an excuse because you're obviously right. They're going to go on and win that division. But what the hell is going on with Bruce Arians? Even Tony Romo was calling out Bruce Arians last week, and he broke it down so well. But it's what we've been saying on this podcast the last 2 to 3 weeks. So at the end of the day, it is Sean Payton being better than the coaches in the division. Nothing against Matt Rule. Honestly, if we're looking at the best coach in the NFL, pound for pound, with the amount of talent provided to him, with the amount of time to prepare a team and the circumstances of the season, Matt Rule's been the best coach in this league. I'd like to see some Mike Tomlin. Okay, Mike Tomlin is, but Matt Rule's a close second. And I've been on the Tomlin hype train for years, even when people are trying to shit on him, which I understand sometimes he's frustrating, but the talent and personnel Tomlin got was frustrating. So, yeah, those are the two best coaches this year, and I'm not surprised both of those teams are overachieving. And Sean Payton's been a great coach this year, too. So I think it comes down to Sean Payton, and that's always a good bet because I never liked Bruce Arians. I just thought he would be able to work in some quick passing games and, stay consistent with the run-pass balance. Although the run-pass balance is something Bruce Arians has always neglected, and every single one of his quarterbacks get killed. And people always say, oh, his offensive lines are bad. No, it's because a lot of his play calling is bad, and you have to protect that offensive line. Anthony Pratt, how long have you been doing the show? I'm watching from Australia. I love the Aussies. I really want to visit there one time. I've been doing this show like 5-6 years. I used to have a co-host, and then just so far this season, solo. I'm really liking the solo thing. So yeah, I'm gonna keep doing it. Glenn Ewell, Burkett, your picks are legit. I appreciate it, my man. I appreciate it. I'm a Lawson too, bro. Appreciate it. That means you're a shark and you're an absolute beast. Yeah, Drake talks like Drake has just disappeared, man. Drake has gone AWOL. He was one of the fans of the show from the beginning. Jets fan, good guy. I actually met him in person before. He's from Houston. He lives in like Oak Cliff, like kind of like the hood in Houston. He's a really good guy. He's a really stylish guy. But yeah, he's just completely went ghost this year with his Jets. But he goes ghost every year, and he was supposed to come on like 5 times. And that's the thing. He knew I wanted to attack him because I've always liked the guy, and I always let other people talk. I really wanted to see if Cards fan came on. Call me Corbin. I love your content, brother. You've been winning me some money, and I just want to tell you thank you. If you want to thank me, sir, subscribe to that Patreon for $5 a month, sir, and hit that like button. But anyways, actually, the best way to support me is making sure you're sharing the videos. Oh, yo, I see Drake in the chat room. Okay. See, I'm so far behind on the chats. I'm trying to get to everything. I got to make sure no one sent me a super chat because I'm in a weird angle right here with this chat room. One sec. I don't know. Okay. So up plan Lawson, please talk about your time in Brazil, the people, the sights, the sounds. Is it fun? Yeah, Brazil's my favorite country on earth, and the people are absolutely outstanding. Yeah, so I visited the northeast part of Brazil. Normally when I go, I visit the northeast part of the Brazil. It's kind of like our version, like the United States version of South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Northern Florida, Alabama. It's obviously not the same because most of Brazil is pretty hot year round, but it is like that. So it's the poorer section of Brazil, but they got great beaches and the people are really nice, man. And seriously, it gets a bad reputation because the crime, and you need to be on your lookout. But honestly, if you stay where you need to stay and you consult with someone who knows what they're doing, you'll be safe. And then, dude, the stereotype is true. The women are absolutely amazing. And I'm not even saying it just because they're beautiful, dude. The personalities are a lot better. It's definitely more complicated dating in the United States than there. And it's just different. And people, for me, they value family more. And I've been to soccer games there. That's absolutely awesome. I'm sure you guys would love that. The beaches are dope. And I've been to some of the poorest places in Brazil. I've been to some of the nicest places in Brazil. You always get treated well, man. And that's what's nice. And you actually have people who are open and they want to talk to you. We have some places like that in the United States, especially our deep South. Like the deep South gets a lot of hate in this country, but yo, when you're down there, everyone's like warm and cool with you. So That's always been something, and I think it's a great place to go. Brazil is a little bit complicated sometimes, but right now is the best time to go. Their currency is like 7 to 1. Okay, so for instance, $1 equals like 6, 7, 5.5 of their money. So that's a good reason to go. And there's so many stories I could tell you about. I could go on for days. But yeah, I love supporting that country. One day I'll be a citizen. I'm going to try to get dual citizenship. I'm going to buy a house. The houses are cheaper here. And if I ever was going to suggest you guys something, save your money. When you're 40, 45, retire, buy a house somewhere warm in South America, so maybe even the Caribbean, whatever other language you know, and just make your money work for you. And don't sit here working 75 until you're 75, 80, paying like 3,000 for rent when I paid literally like $180 for a 5-star hotel for a week and got an apartment too. You guys saw how long I was there. Okay. Steven, what's up? Thank you, Steven. I appreciate it. Geo getting it. Hey, don't you hate how rigged all the world is, including NFL and other sports? Dude, it's the rig thing. It's always there. But you got to work around it. And I don't think it's rigged, but I do get frustrated with some of the calls. Oak Cliff in Dallas, Jordan Simpson. My bad. you guys. I guess I'm showing my street cred that I didn't even know. I used to like this rap group that was in Dallas, DSR. If anyone ever knows them, they were really good. They were really different too. Brandon Peralta. Does anyone see the Jags upsetting the Vikings? Maybe me a little bit. I'm a Vikings fan, but like I said, and I stated on this podcast a few times, the Vikings didn't play good last week against the Panthers. They really had no business beating the Panthers last week. It was a nice assist from Theodore Bridgewater. He definitely helped the Vikings deliver that game for the wrong reasons. Yeah, I did have a falling out with GIF. I did a video on it, man, and honestly, I don't want to bring any shine to anything he's doing because I didn't do anything. And he completely overreacted to a situation that was ridiculous. I did do a video on it. I don't want to go down that road. We don't really need the drama. We're grown-ass men trying to make money and trying to win bets and trying to beat Vegas. I honestly don't have enough time for it. But honestly, I was talking to my girlfriend. I'm like, I explained to her the situation. I even explained to you guys the situation. I told the whole truth. Didn't leave out or omit any details. And my girlfriend's like, yo, you're right. So there's really not much I can do to meet someone halfway when I'm 100% right. I'm always willing to admit when I'm wrong. And you guys have been on here and I've admitted when you guys were right about things. And it's just at that point, it's just better we go separate. I think it's better me alone anyways, because the YouTube algorithms, I bring more energy. I get to the point. And I think if I had to do a radio show on ESPN radio for 3-4 hours, I think GIF would be a valuable asset. But in this form, in the way media is going, especially on YouTube, I think I'm much better off alone. And I think the subscriber count kind of proves it. Yes, Thrive Fantasy. Looking forward to having Lawson team come check out Thrive Fantasy. Instant first deposit match up the $50 code with Lawson and the $250 contest. I will be showing my team later in the video. I'm excited about that. Link is in the description and the password is Lawson. Just click the link. You'll have to download the app, but that's easy on Apple, on Android. And then it's easy and just use the code Lawson and then you guys can get in and see if you like it. I really like the player props though. It's fun and it gets our brain working. It's just another way for us to analyze games so we can be like sharks. Here's a go. Call me Corbin. Is it just me or is Moneyline parlays easy money if you're smart? Yes. There's nothing wrong with a nice money line parlay. And there's also nothing wrong with a nice money line straight bet. I'll give an example. On my Patreon last week, instead of making the Giants -6, I just set on the money line. Sure, some people didn't like it. Some people were saying, Lawson, we're not going to get enough payout. I'm going to have to bet $1,000, or I'm going to have to bet too much money to get my payout. But I knew it was going to win. And then if you went the other way, you would have got to push, because Colt McCoy ended up coming in the game. So sometimes there's a reason to the madness when I tell you guys to go money line. Even on the Vegas spread picks last week, I made it quite clear. I said it was a money pick for the Giants on the money line, and I really hope you guys took that against Cincinnati. It was easy. Okay, I'm going to get to the questions. If I miss your question, just leave it again. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Jupiter, Florida is nice. I got family in Port St. Lucie. I love Florida. I worked down there as a special education teacher before. The only bad thing about Florida, it's so damn expensive. It's so damn expensive, dude. And I would actually rather go to Brazil anyways. I like Miami, but other than that, like, you're better off going to Dominican Republic or Brazil or somewhere in the Caribbean if you want to get some sun. Sean York, do not tease favorites. Play them on the money line. I tend to agree with this, but that's because I love my big point spread. I love my +10. I love my +16. I love my +8. Some people don't like them, and they always pick against them, and they wonder why I win. Yeah, dude, Florida's awesome, man. And Florida gets a lot of bad press, but Florida's awesome. It's just too damn expensive for young people. I mean, it's not like the jobs are paying good down there. Where? Dude, I was in LaBelle, Florida, in one of the poorest sections of Florida. It's in South Florida. It's only like an hour from Miami. I was in Lehigh Acres, too. That's where I stayed, but I worked in LaBelle. It was one of the most expensive places. It was ridiculous, dude. It was ridiculous. Yeah, I mean, but how many hot, cocky women know the NFL and actually know what they're talking about, dude? Like, and like using a woman for eye candy is something that's a little bit cheap. Because any woman can like come on here and like show her bikini and she'll get like 30,000 views. I actually have to work for my views with my intelligence. Brad Robson, John, what's your opinion on Colts versus Texans? I want to bet the Colts. I absolutely love the Colts in this game, and I was riding the Texans these last few weeks, especially against the Patriots. I wanted you guys to bet that. But here's why I like the Texans that week, because I knew Deshaun Watson would get time. Deshaun Watson doesn't have Will Fuller this week, and the Colts have a good enough pass rush to get to Deshaun, and that will create too many problems for that Houston offense. And it's not a good combination. I'll be right back. I just have to get a refill of water. As you hear, my voice is getting a little bit raspy. Okay, here we go. The LJ Hour podcast. I've already bet 2 teasers involving Vegas without Jacobs. Are my bets in trouble? How much did you get for him? Yeah, I'm going to get to your questions. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you hit the videos. Tony, is Buckner playing for the Colts this week? I believe so, but it's more about the defensive ends for me. DeForest Buckner doesn't really do much on the pass rush side of things, and you don't really need to stop the run all that good against the Texans. What kind of tripod are you using? I'm just using, man, what kind of tripod are you using? I bought a new camera and I just hook it up at the top of my laptop. This is the old camera because I need to get really, really close to read what you guys are saying. But yes, I do have a new camera, and you guys have been seeing it in the in the video. What's a beer cost in Brazil in their dollars? Like, you can get like 4 Heinekens, like the small ones, the pints. You can get like 4 Heinekens for like $3 American, maybe two, maybe less. If you want to drink Brazilian beer, it'll be way cheaper too. But it's really, really weak. Yeah, though I felt like the old camera was fine, but some people wanted me to step it up. And I'm trying to make the podcast as good as possible. Yeah, North Florida is a lot better. I was in South Florida though. So like all South Florida, like Fort Myers, that side, then the other side of Florida, Port St. Lucie, dude, it's all high, man. Like North Florida's the only I do like Pensacola too, like places near there, not Pensacola itself. What Gilami Bissat? What's your prediction on Buffalo versus San Francisco, please? I got Buffalo to win in the cover. Not a lot of certainty. That won't be a game I'm betting. Tekken is my world. Sup, Lawson? It's been a while. How you doing, my man? How likely would you say the Jets would beat the Raiders now that Jacobs and Abrams is out? Need my Jags to get Trevor. I don't think the Jets will. The Jets are an absolute mess. The Jets are an absolute catastrophe at the moment. Don't expect anything out of them. I know you want your Jags to get Trevor Lawrence, but it's tough, man, with the Jets, because legitimately the Jags are a better team than the Jets too. So that's not working in your favor. I don't think the Raiders will lose, but you remember what happened last year with the Raiders when the Raiders were literally fighting for a playoff spot and they went to the Meadowlands and laid an absolute egg. So it's quite possible that it could happen. It's quite possible. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you guys check out the Patreon page in the description. I want to keep getting the more questions. How many likes are we at? I can't see on here, but someone write it below. Okay, got it. Okay, Buffalo by 3. Someone's saying. Who is calling me a liar? I want to see. Yeah, dude, definitely treat yourself. I traveled during COVID and it was fine. It was actually better, and I will be traveling again soon. So I'm looking quite forward to it. It's always nice to get a little bit of break because this country is very, very intense. Everything here, the people are so just wound up on everything, and it's just too much here sometimes for me. I'm not saying this country isn't great, but dude, it gets tiring after a while. I used to be into Aussie rules football when I was like 15, 16, Daniel. I actually liked it. It's a good sport, man. It's a really good sport, but can I tell you what I think is the problem with Aussie rules football? I think there's too many players on the pitch. There's just too many players on the field, man, and it becomes like a conjuted mess. But then you see the brilliance. It has some soccer elements I like to it, and NFL elements I like. So I, of course, like it. I just feel like there's too many dudes on the pitch. That's where I'm at. Okay. Clint Richardson's. I like the Giants for an upset if Jones play, and I think he might. I do like the Giants. I would love the Giants to cover if Daniel Jones is playing. You've got Daniel Jones, who's been playing pretty decent against the worst defense in the league. You've got a pretty good Giants defense who's been covering well. That's one thing the Giants defense has been doing. Surprisingly, they've been covering well. I don't know what the stats say. I'm sure someone's going to try to come in and prove me wrong, but teams are throwing a lot against the Giants because that front seven's really big. That front seven doesn't have a good pass rush, but they're really big and they clog run lanes. I like the way that Giants defense is looking. I never thought it would be better. 152 watching, 26 likes. I don't know. That's crazy to me, man. That's crazy to me. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is. It's not that hard. Like, I understand, like, if you're watching on like an Xbox or something, or you're like listening in your car, But come on, man. That's insane. I have one on my Patreon. Bill, I lost my first soccer bet today. I wasn't able to watch the game because I was recording the props video, but I also got another one. I think it started like 30 minutes ago. Cruzeiro's not playing tonight, Bill. I know you like betting them. Okay, 1 second. I like Flamengo to beat Botafogo. Brazilian Serie A, Flamengo to beat Botafogo. That's the game I'm really liking the target. Also, Ceará, winner draw against Vasco. I like that too. Those are two I can throw to you real quick. I'm going to start getting into the European soccer leagues again once the NFL ends. I've been starting to watch it again. I always do follow it pretty good, but I'm not able to see a lot of it with the NFL because we got to watch a lot of it. Pat W. I weirdly like the Giants and Eagles to both cover. Seahawks and Packers might overlook them slightly because the NFC East, but plus 11 and plus 8.5 seems like a decent opportunity. I like the way you're thinking, sir. And this is the way I think. I love the points. They're always alluring. It's something that makes me feel comfy at night. But the Eagles are so unpredictable right now and so bad, I would be more nervous about that. But conventional wisdom says the Eagles should be able to cover that because this Packers team is a little bit overrated, and we've seen this Packers team struggle at times this year. Like, look at their game at home at Lambeau against the Vikings. So there's some problems, man. There's some problems. Hakeem Plummer, you like the Colts money line? Yeah, but I feel comfortable enough to go to spread. But Hakeem, I like the way you're thinking because if you're going all in, well, not even all in, but if you're making this a big bet, I wouldn't mind you going money line. It's just for your security. It's just for your security. It helped me with the Giants last week. I would have came up with a push and just got my money back, but I went money line and I took a little less payout, but it was guaranteed. So yes, I like the way you're thinking. NFL trap. Dude, I'm trying to answer your questions, but I can't see everything. And if you want your questions asked, fucking send a super chat for like $2. Then I'll see it. If you don't notice, I'm getting a lot of questions. Damn, man. And dude, I'm reading soccer because soccer pays fucking bills. And because soccer's 11 months a year and NFL's only 5 or 6 because soccer pays bills. Let me get to some questions. Okay, we're at a lot of likes now. I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it. Okay, let me see. Cash money. I am putting my 401k college fund and my paycheck on Atlanta. Do you got a 401k? Is this for a daughter or is this like a thing with your wife? Dude, it's a lot harder to answer these questions than you think. I don't have someone reading me the questions. I'm literally just getting a big long list of questions. And it's kind of hard. So Rory Horn, hey Lawson. And if I've already answered one of your questions, I try to get the people who haven't gotten one of their questions asked. Ryan Kematano, what's your pick on Denver? Denver to cover, but I'm not betting it. But I see Drew Lock's playing, right? So that should be encouraging. But that should be encouraging. And yeah, LJ, you can get that. You can get a game on 12 months of a year, 365 days a year. Depends what leagues you follow. So you can mix it up really good. Julio and Gurley are out. I heard Gurley's going to play. I'm not sure about Julio Jones. Can someone enlighten us on that? The only lock I'm going to give you, Holly, without subscribing to my Patreon is Browns +6. Browns +6. That's a lock. Yeah, they know I'm kidding. They know I'm kidding, but they were busting my balls, so I'm gonna bust their balls a little bit. It's no hard feelings. Todd Jeter, what's your recommended number of teams for a proper parlay? I would say 5, 4. After that, your odds and mathematical chances, even if it's a really safe teaser parlay, whatever type of parlay it is, after 4 or 5 teams, your odds go drastically down. The sports books love when you do 6, 7, 8 team parlays. They absolutely love it. I think that's where a wide variety of their money comes from. But if I had a guess, the Legend 01 Julio, most likely game time decision. Thank you, my friend. Thank you for looking out. Got it. Here we go. Arizona or Rams. I've already covered this a lot, but I'm going Rams, and I'm actually surprised because the more the week goes on, the more I think the Rams are going to do it. The more I think the Rams are going to take care of business. This Arizona team is dangerous at home. We all know that. We all know the desert is really underrated. I just don't think the Rams are going to be phased. And listen, here's something I was wrong about. We know Chandler Jones is injured, but even before he got injured, I thought this Arizona defense, especially the front, was going to be good. I thought they were legit going to be good. I didn't think it was going to be a top 10 defense or anything, but I thought they would be a little bit better. And yes, at times this Arizona defense makes plays, but I don't think they're going to stop this Rams running game. And I think when the Rams are able to run it, Goff is able to do play action and take care of business. Thoughts on Bills 49ers? It's going to be a close game. I got Bills to win because I think Bills are going to spread them out. And that's one thing you have to do against this 49ers defense. And the Bills, I've been saying it all year, you can really run this ball at the Buffalo Bills front seven. You can. But the 49ers got so many injuries. Is Garoppolo coming back? I don't think so. So I don't think there's enough. I think the Bills have too much explosion for them. But yes, this isn't a game I like. I do not want anyone touching Bills and 49ers. Why don't you do more college? College is more predictable. Because I love the NFL. You have to do what you love, and I watch a lot of it, man. And you got to do what you love. I don't really like watching college football that much. In the past, I used to. When I used to play football, like in middle school, I would come home Saturday morning after practice, dude. I'd watch like fucking 12 hours of college football straight. But there's only so much I can watch. And I just always loved the NFL. NFL was always my thing. Jose Villagomez, Vikings, Packers, or Seahawks in a Survivor League? Vikings. That's the safest of them. Save the Seahawks for later. And Vikings would be the one to go with. I think saving the Seahawks for later would be good. Raheem Morris is coaching like a madman. Well, he better because you got to give Raheem Morris some credit. I'm actually happy he got another chance. I'm actually really happy. Manuel Jimenez. Lawson, better to spend minus 280 on a money line favorite than minus 115 on a spread. Maybe. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to win the bets. And I like betting the spread because it gives people better payouts. But I think Manuel's on my Patreon anyways. He saw last week I wasn't afraid to put like a minus 220 on there with the Giants because I wanted to be as sure as possible. Heading to Vegas right now from Cali. What's the locks on Sunday? Subscribe to my Patreon page. You'll see everything. Okay. Donovan White, Cardinals or Browns have a better chance of pulling an upset? Browns. Well, no, Cardinals. I don't know, man. I think Browns are going to do it. I think there's a good possibility Browns get that upset. But the Cardinals can easily beat the Rams. That's like a coin flip game, even though it is leaning towards the Rams for me. Jose Cruz. Yeah, I haven't seen your channel pop up in a while. I just do super parlays, even though I know more than likely I will not win. I do it for fun. Yeah, and I have been noticing that. That's why we have to hit the like button. Dude, when this channel is growing and there's corporations who are backing some of my competitors, and that's one thing that's going to always be tough because they can just shadow your videos, and the corporations can pay to get up top on YouTube. They don't want the truth coming out. They don't want a small guy doing it, and they certainly don't want us beating Vegas. So yeah, they're going to shadow these videos. That's why I'm here trying to just trying to get the likes up, because eventually the algorithm can't hide us because we are too big a force, we are too big a wave, and we are making too much damn money for them to hide us. Chuck Fu, hello John. What are the chances that the Minnesota team blows out the Jacksonville Jags this week? I think it's rather high, but I don't like Minnesota -10. I think you should stay away from that, Chuck Fu. Cincy +11.5. Jeff, I don't like that game at all. Too much mystery. We don't know if we're getting Fitzpatrick. We don't know if we're getting to just too much mystery. Stay away from that game. There's a lot of other meat on this plate. Okay, I think the questions are starting to wind down. Last call for questions. I'll go like another 10 minutes. I appreciate it, guys. I'll go another 10 minutes. Let's see what questions. Baker Jones, Daniel Jones. I mean, everyone's going to get a little bit more surprised by that, but I think Daniel Jones has actually played good football this year. He's frustrating, but Baker's also frustrated, and we have to understand that Baker's has so many more pieces around him, a better offensive line, a way better running game. Even if Saquon was there, the Browns have the better run game, and honestly, I feel like the Browns scheme on offense is a little bit better than the Giants. Although Jason Garrett has been a decent addition at offensive coordinator. But yeah, dude, Baker is really, really overrated. Really, really overrated. Hot Taco. Lawson, what touchdown props you like this week? I have no idea, man. I was doing over under receiving yards and rushing yards on the video this week. Steve, why did you lose 19K? And why aren't you on my Patreon if you're betting that much money? You can't afford $5 a month. Like, my goodness. I would have had you spread that money around on other things. Jesus. Joey Stowers, what are the chances Cardinals Rams goes over 42? High, very high. Thank you, Dan. Have a great night. Okay, let's see. I'm looking for the questions, trying to get them. This made me laugh. Man. In this culture, you would think it comes. I don't want to make the joke. I don't want to get kicked off YouTube. Chargers this week. Yeah, the more it goes on, Bill, the more I am feeling the Chargers, because the Patriots can't get a pass rush against Justin Herbert. They just can't. And that means Herbert's going to eat. And this Herbert kid just keeps going over 300 yards, and he keeps tossing 2 touchdowns per game. That's just what keeps happening. Yeah, dude, but you guys have to remember, we won a lot of money on the Raiders this year. Like, I remember when I made a money pick for the Raiders to upset the Saints. I mean, we've probably been 4-0, 5-0 on Raiders money picks this year. Eventually you're going to take that L. That's why I'm saying, don't judge me by 10 days. Don't judge me by 4 days. Judge me by the whole year. And that's how we have to do it. And eventually you're going to get bad luck. Your fundamentals were right. You did the research. You picked a better team. But sometimes teams don't show up. And football's a complicated game. And the underdog's always in it in the NFL. And that's why you guys always have to listen to me when I tell you to bet a +9.5, a +10, a +12 without teasing it. I'm always interested in those games, because this league is so damn close and so damn competitive, and everyone likes throwing shots at these NFL players a lot. But these guys play hard, and there's guys playing for their jobs. There's guys playing for their lives, man. And you can't ever underestimate that. That's why it all can't be one game. You got to spread it around with 4 or 5 money picks a week. Yeah, it happens, man. It happens. But how much money did they make you the weeks before? I never seen you in the live chat or comment section, so I don't know when you joined the train. But if you joined this train week 1, certainly the Raiders have cut you more than they lost you. Jeff Guitar, Tennessee -3. No, Jeff, stay the hell away from it. Stay the hell away from it, my friend. I think the Browns are going to come in here and have a little bit of a party. Check out my other videos. I went more into depth on that, but I feel like I've been talking about Titans-Browns all day. I'm from Central New York. And then so I try to spend like 5 or 6 months a year in Brazil. So those are where I operate from. Have you had a losing week on Patreon this year? Yeah, I had. Normally, for the NFL picks, my bad weeks, I go 2-2. Or 1 week I went 2-3. And I've had a few 2-2 weeks, few 500. But yeah, throughout the whole year, I've been winning. Sometimes, like for instance, like last week, I was able to roll off 4 soccer games in a row. Now I'm on a 3-game losing streak with the soccer. Normally it's more consistent, but that's how it goes sometimes. And the bets were good. There was one bet I was kicking myself about today that I made. There was one bet I really didn't like, but you have to make sure you're true to the fundamentals, and you have to understand sometimes you lose because of bad luck, and there's not a lot you can do about it. You can only do your work and keep spreading your money around and play the wrong game. Rodrigo, I don't do the horses, man. I don't do the horses. I do not do the horses. There is a horse track somewhat near my house, and I always kind of wanted to get into it, but I don't really have anyone to go with. What's going to be the total in Bills 49ers? Preems, add 21 plus 17. That might be your total. Todd Jeter, look at this alpha ass comment. Steelers money line lock of every week. That's bold. That's bold. Okay, I'm going to get to some more questions. Yeah. Who's in 11? Am I missing something? Why is everyone on Atlanta? Because Cash Money, he's a longtime subscriber. He's going a little bit crazy, hyping up Atlanta, saying he's betting his kid's college fund and all that. You know how that goes. I appreciate it, Gary. I appreciate all of you guys. I appreciate you guys getting that like button up. We'll spread these videos. We'll keep growing. Okay. Donovan White plus 10 for the football team in the 49ers. See, he's teasing that. Let me go to it's not really about like paying for a question. It's just so I can see it, because if you were in my position, you would see how many questions I get and how quick this thing moves. And then my mind is trying to analyze complex things. Like someone will write like Cincinnati -8, Steelers plus 14. They'll tease everything, and then I'll have to remember each game, each situation, and you try answering questions. I actually do quite a good job as a solo effort. Okay. Hot Taco Lawson, you bet the UFC at all? No, but I think it's something I have to explore. I love it, but I'm not an I've always been good with boxing. Even as a kid, I always knew who was going to win the fights. But with UFC, isn't UFC just a wee bit more unpredictable? It really is. UFC really is the sports version of the Wild Wild West. NFL is really unpredictable, and that's why we love it. But, man, this UFC is the Wild Wild West of sports. It really is. Chuck Fu, would you say soccer is your bread and butter? Yes, I would. Like last year, for instance, NFL was huge, and I've done good on NFL this year. But there's just not enough time in the year. We don't get enough NFL games. And last year, for instance, I was on Bovada and I won like $6,000, $5,000, not a lot, not like 20K, not 40K. I won like $7,000 just betting NFL and teasers on there. And then they banned me and kicked me off. So I got a new arrangement. I have a better way to bet. I use 3 different sites, 1 Brazilian, 2 offshore that you guys can all get to. Yeah, so Donovan, what you call Matt Patricia a bubble butt in a video this week? Yeah, man, because I'm sick of it. Because listen, okay, you guys seen I gained a little bit of weight from the beginning of the year, and it happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us, but our appearance is important. You guys ever walk into Walmart and everyone's wearing pajama pants, looking like they haven't taken a bath in a few weeks? They got like food stains all over their beard and stuff. Like, man, you look good, you feel good. And Matt Patricia looked like he had no confidence. He barely could hold his head up and look someone in the eye. How is he going to lead a group of men? How is he going to lead a group of men to put their blood on the line for him if this man looks like he's a janitor at a high school and he's addicted to food or he can't stop eating donuts? Johnny Total, do you review games on Patreon? No, but I should. I'm going to keep expanding with the Patreon. It's going really good. And I started a Patreon just as a way for you guys to support me. But as the members are growing, I think that's a good suggestion. And I want to start offering more because originally it was just to keep this podcast afloat. But now that it's growing and now that it's keeping the podcast afloat, firstly, secondly, it's helping me and it's helping you guys. So yeah, dude, it was because I was on one of the hottest streaks of my life and Bovada didn't want someone to like steal from them. I was literally stealing. It's just one of those zones. We're all going to get in a zone. We all have that like 1 month zone. My last 1 month zone was I had one in September with soccer and a mix of football, but also during COVID when the Bundesliga came back and the Portuguese league came back, I was like in a month and a half zone just killing stuff. And when you get in that zone, dude, you will get thrown off of these sites. I don't know about your betting. I don't know about your record, but I've gotten in the zone before, and they're not going to let you win 13, 14 bets straight, my friend. Johnny, I answered your question. But yes, I don't. But like I said, I think it's something I'm going to add eventually. Because the Patreon's taken off. I will, Chuck Fu. I'm just thinking of a way to market the videos so they're able to get views because I did videos during COVID and during the off season with soccer bets. And like I would do like the Asian handicap, I would go 6-1. I would go 5-0 on every single video, and I would only get 200 watches. Only 200 people would watch it, and almost every pick was freaking right. And it really left me frustrated because I literally gave perfect picks, and no one was watching. Any tips for betting Brazilian soccer? You have to know all the players, and you have to know all the lineups, and it's really crazy because pretty much there's 2 games a week for every team. So there's a lot of fatigue. There's a lot of mixing and matching of lineups. So you really have to know the players. But also one thing you have to remember, it's a really tight league and games are close. So when you get a team that's +1, +1.5, an underdog, you get something like that, you can really exploit it because the Brazilian soccer league is like the NFL. Everything's even. Yes, there's teams with astronomical salaries compared to some of the lower teams, but everything is more even than other soccer leagues. That's why I like doing it, and it's also fun to watch. And then it's something like when I'm with my girl, she'll watch it with me. She likes it too. So she's starting to understand NFL a little bit better. But okay, guys. I'm going to hit that like, but hey, I want to just show this real quick. This is the Thrive Fantasy This is a competition with me. So look at this contest, guys. You can either go over and under. You can either go over and under, like Nick Chubb, 87.5, Justin Jefferson, 85.5, Derek Carr, over under 0.5 interceptions. The link is in the description. If you want to join me, if you want to compete with me, you can go to the link is in the description, and the password or the promo code, whatever you want to type in, is Lawson, Lawson. Come compete with me on there. Come compete with me. I think we'll have a good time on there. Thrive Fantasy Sports. It's definitely awesome. Yo, thank you for the super sticker, Corey. Jordan Gallagher, do you think fatigue affects the defense? Yes. Jordan, I don't know how long you've been watching my videos, but I always talk about this. This is one reason why the Bears defense collapsed last week against Green Bay, and they kind of quit, and they just simply spend too much time on the field. That's why I don't respect stats all that much, because Detroit's defense, because Chicago's defense has been really good this year, but their stats aren't great because they spend the whole game on the field. Okay, no comments. I appreciate the super chat. Really appreciate it. Okay, let me look for someone's question. Browns versus Titans. Yeah, well, we already talked about that already. The Hound. All right, guys, I'm going to, appreciate it. De nada. Appreciate it. Let's get this money. Subscribe, hit the like button. And if you guys want to check out the Patreon page, link is in the description. If you want to check out the Thrive Fantasy Contest, it's free with me. You can just enter. We can have some fun with it. If you guys like it, you can continue. Check out the prop video tonight. I will be dropping it 10 p.m. Eastern. Hit the like button, share the video, subscribe. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it.